What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today I want to do a discussion video about Lyrilusc, okay? They are confirmed to be one of the archetypes getting support and at least one new boss monster in the next Duelist pack to come out. And because of that, I want to talk about a lot of their implications, what's been going on with them, what they already have in their archetype, other things that could come up with the new support, because they kind of have a lot of different things going on all at once. They generically work for some decks. They're arguably meta at the moment. And yeah, so I just want to do a general talking about like what we have, what we could get, what we have, like what other angles there are to consider when it comes to that stuff, and just a general discussion about Lyrilusc right now. So obviously we got to start with what we already have to talk about how it works with stuff and all that other stuff. So of course we have our three main deck monsters. This is a really small archetype, guys. This is three main deck monsters, three extra deck monsters. That is it. Okay, first off, you have Cobalt Sparrow. This one's really good. If she's ever special summoned, you could just search any level 1 winged beast. Also, if it's used as Exceed material for a Wind Exceed monster, it can't be targeted with card effects. So, really good card. Really good card. You have Sapphire Swallow, also pretty good. If you control any winged beast, you can summon this and another level 1 winged beast from hand. So, the more level 1 winged beast, which I would assume this whole deck is built on making rank 1s. So I really hope that we get more main deck monsters and they stay level 1, so to keep the synergy with what we already have. So you can special summon this and a winged beast from your hand, and if it's used as Exceed material for a Wind Exceed, you can target a Lyrilusc monster in grave and attach it to it as material, so get an extra material equipped, which is not bad as well. And then you have Turquoise Warbler. If you control no monsters, you can summon this card. Then if this card is special summoned from the hand, you can summon another Lyrilusc monster from hand or grave. So again, the more Lyrilusc monsters, the better all of these cards get, which is really good. I think they're a great little engine. They don't really do enough on their own, but that's why they've been working with Tri-Brigade, and that's a really huge point we need to keep in mind. Anything Lyrilusc related is right now, this is an engine played with Tri-Brigade, arguably a tier 1 deck at the moment. We're in a new format, a ban list just hit, but a lot of people are theorizing that Bird Up, Beastie Boys, whatever you want to call them, Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade is arguably a tier 1 deck right this second. So that's all important stuff to consider. Then you get to the Exceed monsters. Recital Starling's very good. It's like detach a material to search any level 1 winged beast. Any level 1 winged beast, not just Lyrilusc. We'll get to that later. You also have Assembled Nightingale. This is really doesn't do much for the deck except for make Zeus really nice in the deck, because she just does like Zeus things. She like makes herself indestructible by battle or whatever, and you just attack and then you make Zeus. Cool. Great. Zeus fodder. And then you also have Independent Nightingale. This was part of FTKs in the past. You don't really play it right now because what's the point? And yeah, so I doubt this card will be that relevant. I really hope they don't go super heavy on the fusion side of Lyrilusc. I think the Exceed side is definitely more worth focusing on. Hopefully, maybe they'll focus on both and there'll just be enough for either side that it works out. But we'll obviously have to see. And so that's it. That's literally all the cards they have. 3 main deck monsters and 3 extra deck monsters. Everything except for the Independent Nightingale is currently played in the Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade builds. And they're all good in their own right. They're either extenders or starters. And that's pretty damn cool. So yeah, that's mainly it. Very small archetype. I don't even, it's really hard with a small archetype like this to tell where they'd want to go with future cards, because they haven't really set a full-on tone. And yes, you like rank 1s, we like level 1s. That's really cool. A lot of cards can work with that. But still, it's a whole nother beast to try and determine what 7 whole cards. And that's really important to keep in mind as well, is because Konami has changed the format for the Duelist packs, we're not getting 5 different archetypes, 4 cards a piece. We're getting 3 archetypes, 7 cards a piece now, give or take. I mean, it might change here or there from Duelist pack to Duelist pack, but it seems like the format's going to be about 7 cards a piece. 7 cards is more than what we already have, so the archetype could change immensely. Very excited for this one. Moving on to some of the other things, obviously the Tri-Brigades. Another thing to keep in mind, this is a level 1 winged beast, so your Exceed monster searches you into your Tri-Brigade engine. which is really cool. Also, like Cobalt Sparrow can search it. Sapphire Swallow can special it from hand. Turquoise Warbler doesn't work with it, but it gets the other two out on the field, which can then search it and get you moving there. So really, really important to keep in mind there. You also have DD Crow. There's a solid hand trap that's just searchable via your engine if you want it. Very, very good to keep in mind. You also have a card like Swallow's Nest. This just contribute any winged beast to summon another winged beast of the same level straight out of the deck. So that's something like Cobalt Sparrow. You contribute any level 1 just to summon this out, and then this gets you another search. So it immediately makes up for the resources you gave up for this. Which is really cool. So that could be something else as well. I don't know. We'd have to see the level 1s we get, or like other Tri-Brigade, or keep saying Tri-Brigade, Lyrilusc, like main deck monsters we get, to see what other potential targets we'll have, or really that will have enough level 1 targets to make this guy worth. But it is definitely another card to mention. It's a quick play, so it could get you out of situations. Dodging certain removals or disruptions is nice, and definitely something to keep in mind. You also have stuff like 1-for-1, just a really powerful one of you'll probably play in the deck because it's really good. You have Icarus Attack. I doubt Icarus Attack would be played because we already have stuff like the Tri-Brigade, like spells and traps, and they're getting like more and more searchable in the deck. So I don't think we need to lean on an unsearchable card. It's a pretty decent card. I just don't. I think it's like overkill. I think we'd rather be playing extenders and stuff rather than playing like a hard 3 of like Icarus Attack. But it's still something to keep in mind if you really wanted to. You also have Samorg, Bird of Sovereignty. Now this is one thing that's interesting. If we decide that like Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc isn't the move, and maybe we see pure Lyrilusc come out of the woodwork, like that's a possibility for sure. Maybe they just turbo into some work. They're very good because they are already winged beasts, so they already like naturally get you into this, whereas some of the Tri-Brigade cards don't get you into this naturally. You can cheat it out obviously with their effects, but sometimes it's annoying to make her the hard way. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind, that this deck just has such great synergy. So the more Lyrilusc stuff we get, this card just becomes better and better. Another thing to also keep in mind with this card specifically is if, like, we won't get these for a couple months, right? If Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc is one of, if not the best deck in the game, what if Samorg gets banned? This is definitely one of the top cards to be targeted on a ban list should this deck be overpowered and too good. So I would definitely keep an eye on this. We could see this potentially hit a ban list around the time we have these cards coming out. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that because that could change a lot. Not just this, it could change Tri-Brigade, and maybe it makes Tri-Brigade less good with the deck. You still have the engine, but you don't have the payoff with like the barrier statue lock and Apex Avian and the protection sovereignty gives you. So definitely got to keep an eye on this card and where it ends up for sure. You also have Zeus. I just wanted to mention this because you do already have like an in-archetype way to set up Zeus. Super easy. Any 2 level 1s on the field, and she puts you in a position there. One other card I didn't put here that I want to Feather Storm. This card right here. This card's actually kind of crazy. I know some people have already been theorizing it in the deck, but this card's actually insane. If you don't know what it does, it's like if you control a Harpy, you can activate it from hand, but it's a trap that says if you control a winged beast, just one, until the end of the turn, negate any monster effects your opponent activates, period. Everything. You also can already play a Harpy Conductor in a deck like this, so this can be activatable from hand. So this card's insane. The more like Lyrilusc support we get, even a pure version may be able to just play 3 copies of this and just be like an insane card. You can use it to stop hand traps on your turn. You can use it once you like go first to just like use this card as a disruption, and this is like Calamities but better. Straight up, it's just better than Calamities. You don't have the 3000 body, but you do just say no to all monster effects whatsoever till the end of the turn, at least activated ones. So this card's kind of insane. Definitely another card to consider. This may be super playable come Lyrilusc support. So I don't know. I'm thinking if we're going to get 7 cards, just based off of how Konami usually likes to do things, we've already seen a boss monster. It's probably an Exceed. I hope it's not a fusion, unless they make like a really busted fusion for this deck. I don't see fusions being very good. The only way we see fusions be good in like modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! Is when you have a very resource efficient fusion deck like like Shadal's that like recurs so much it doesn't matter. Or you have something like Invoke that like immediately reloads you the Alistair in hand and Confuse out of grave. So I hope we don't go the fusion route here. I hope it stays more Exceed based. I hope we get like 2 to 3 main deck monsters would be really nice. Some spells and traps, definitely some spells and traps. I would not hate a searcher for them. If they got a searcher for any Lyrilusc, that's so good, because sometimes right now you open like the wrong ones. You don't open like the best ones in hand, like Cobalt without a way to get it out of the hand super easily. Obviously we do have Farajit, but there may be something else in your hand you might want to use Farajit to extend into. So I definitely like the ability to, if like you already have one, you just get like the other one that perfectly pairs with it. And something like Sapphire Swallow, it allows you to run it as a one of without even really fearing that you're not seeing it enough, because you've got essentially 4 more copies of it. And so if you draw it, you're just like, oh, this is a hand where Sapphire Swallow is bonkers in, so I'll grab Sapphire Swallow. Only need to play one of it. You're not overdrawing it, you're not bricking on it, but you still have that just as much, if not more, accessibility to it should that happen. So I'd love to see a spell or something that searches for the deck. Hopefully a disruption as well. That's one thing you definitely have to note is Lyrilusc don't have any in archetype disruption. I mean, like, sure, you can search DD Crow off the Exceed, and sure, the deck helps you get into some more, again, that gets you disruption, but there's no Lyrilusc disruption. So hopefully maybe we get a new Exceed, and that can be some kind of disruption to just give Lyrilusc a little bit of extra interesting way to like interrupt your opponent, and then like that could be really cool. But I don't know. I really think the sky is the limit here. This deck is already arguably tier 1, and we're just going to get 7 new cards. I'm expecting a couple of them to be stinky, by the way. This generally happens with waves of support like this. You're going to get like 5 to 7 new cards. Same thing with structure decks. Usually it's like 1 to 3 of them are usually pretty awful, like almost unplayable. So we're probably going to get 4 to 5 playables. But it's the same thing. If we were going to get 4 cards, it means 1 to 2 of them are probably going to be bad, most likely, and the other ones would be pretty decent. But now we just have more potential for better, more better cards for the deck. So I'm really excited. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Let me know in the comment section down below what kind of support you want to see for this, whether you think it helps Lyrilusc, whether you think it helps Lyrilusc and Tri-Brigade together in the meta. And I don't know, I just want to hear your thoughts, because I think this is such a wide open one. There's such an undeveloped archetype. I want to see where else Konami wants to go with it, and where they want to push this archetype, because it has a lot of potential, I gotta say. So that's gonna do it for me here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff from me in the future, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.